Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside Jay Dog in person once again for part 2 of Over-Unders. We're doing the AFC this time.
Mike, you invited me back to the pod, invited me back to the couch. It's been a week since we last did
It's not
this.
the casting couch.
There's some weird things going on in Hollywood casting couches these days.
Yeah, not this one, though.
We're past, not yet. We're wearing the same clothes as last week, but we are a week later for sure.
100%.
That was a week ago
Yeah.
that I was last here. And I'm here again. And so we're talking AFC. And I thought for AFC over-unders, let's start with a little game called Do You Know Who This Person Plays For?
Okay.
Here we go. These are all AFC, so I'm helping you out here. Number 1, do you know who Derrick Henry plays for?
Well, definitely not the Titans.
Definitely not. It's good. Good call. 15 other options.
Definitely not the Titans.
No.
Where the hell did Derrick
Where did
Henry
he go? What if I told you this? It's a team that makes perfect sense for him.
Makes perfect sense for
Makes
Derrick Henry.
perfect sense. It's just like, yes, a match made in heaven.
Honestly, I got no clue where he is.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, yeah, that does
They're
make
a match
sense.
made in heaven.
We talked about all this in the beginning of the season, too, so
That was so many months ago.
I know.
It's August. Okay. Here's one for you. Maybe you'll get this one based on your recent answers. Do you know what team Calvin Ridley plays for?
He definitely plays for the Tennessee Titans.
On the NFC show last week, Mike answered Titans to like half the list.
Yeah.
You finally got one right. He does play
They
the
didn't do any
Titans.
good moves. They just got Calvin Ridley, and they got rid of everybody.
This was a bad move. They also got Tony Pollard, who didn't make my list. You can't have
No.
too many running backs. Calvin Ridley, by the way, he was supposed to sign in New England. His girlfriend, not his wife, not his baby mama, his girlfriend said, go to Tennessee. He took less money to go to Tennessee.
Weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'd go play for Robert
Less
Kraft.
taxes, I guess, in Tennessee.
What about Massachusetts? Do we know?
No clue.
No
Probably
clue.
higher.
We're sitting out here in California. We just got taxed for sitting here.
Yeah, we got a lot of taxes out
A lot of tax. All right. Someone who doesn't play for the state of California, Hollywood Brown. Do you know what team this receiver ended up on?
Well, at one point, I know he's on the Ravens. Then one point, he was on the Cardinals.
Yes.
And now this man, I got no idea.
You're going to like the team he's on. He's on the Kansas City Chiefs now.
He's on the Chiefs.
Which is good to know because their other receiver, Rashee Rice, we don't know exactly where he is right now, but he's not in good standing.
It's not, yeah. They need help on receivers. They keep losing them to like craziness, like Kadarius Toney, like doing some wild shit.
Yeah.
Still got a ring from them.
Yeah.
They just got to get somebody that's like, I like that they like these crazy guys because crazy guys play well. Antonio Brown, great wide receiver, but went crazy.
I don't know if that's like a net positive when you have Antonio Brown on your team.
No, but it seems like they're able to kind of corral them enough to play well.
Yeah. I think with
And
the
the Taylor
Chiefs,
Swift effect.
with the Chiefs and Mahomes, you don't even need to be very good. You just should be like well behaved, stay on the field for him, and then you'll have like 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, and then get a Super Bowl.
Exactly. I got a couple more for you. Stephon Diggs is not on the Bills anymore. The Bills lost a lot of talent this offseason. Do you know what team Diggs is on?
Yeah, the Houston Texans.
All right, so you worried me for a second
Yeah.
there. That could be exciting. We're going to get to the Texans over under. Stroud to Diggs. Sounds like you're going under on the Texans. Stay tuned for that one. I got one more for you. Another Bills receiver.
Okay.
They lost a lot. We both went to UCF for college. Me and Mike both graduated University of Central
Love
Florida.
the library. Shout out the library.
Shout out Night Library. Shout out the Bounce House. Shout out all those things.
Great places.
Gabe Davis also went to UCF. Also partied at Night Library. Do you know what team he's on now?
Where Gabe Davis is no longer. Oh, he went to Jacksonville, right?
You know some of these.
Yeah,
Good
he went to
job.
Jacksonville. I
That's
thought it was a
right.
dumb move.
He went back to Florida. You know, we have a strong UCF to Jacksonville pipeline.
Buffalo has no one.
They have no one. Shakir is their number 1 receiver this year.
That's gonna be really bad.
They have Curtis Samuel. I think they drafted Ladd McClunkey.
No clue.
From
Hopefully
Georgia?
they drafted somebody.
They drafted someone in the first round, and they have Shakir, who's not that great, and Curtis Samuel, who's like 40 years old.
Yeah, it's not.
We'll get to the Bills over under. So those are my off season. It's good to set those up before we jump into.
Yeah, it's hard to
into
remember.
these.
You're getting into the fantasy time, and
Clearly.
you're like, who are these guys?
It's true.
All these guys moved everywhere.
That's true.
All right, we got the AFC East here. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, I think we know where we're going.
Where I'm going under. That was it.
What's the over under?
10.5.
Doesn't even matter. Going
Doesn't
under
even-
based
it's-
on the offseason report.
10.5 seems crazy for a team that could barely get by with 2 talented receivers, and now they're both gone.
I'm a Josh Allen fan. I had Josh Allen in fantasy last year. People made fun of me for reaching for him. He's amazing because he runs, he passes, he does it all. That's probably not going to be okay in a year where he lost his playmakers. He can't do it all without him, and you can add more resources to him. The receivers are terrible. That's an easy under. Do the over-under people know they lost Diggs and Davis?
It might change a little bit here in the like as we get closer to the season, but bet it now. If you're listening to this right now, go bet it right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like an under there.
Miami, your Miami Dolphins.
Here we go.
What do you think the over-under is? I know you took some notes, but you don't have it in front of you right now.
I don't. So the Dolphins always win 8 or 9 games. So the over-under is 8.5.
9.5.
No. You know what that means? It's too high. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Too high.
It's too high. They lost so many guys from their defense, Mike. So many guys. In addition to injuries to Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, which wrecked their season, they lost Van Ginkel. They lost Robert Hunt, the offensive guard. They lost defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. And they're signing old guys like Calais Campbell to replace him. I don't like the Dolphins' offseason, and I would have thought it'd be 8.5. Because it's 9.5, they're going to go 8 and 9. I hate to say it.
I went over. I said Pats, Bills, and Jets don't seem like...
What's going on here?
I said Pats, Bills, and Jets can't compete this year. So at least you get 6 easy wins. Right? 6 easy wins?
Is that true? The Jets might be okay.
I mean, I do have over for the Jets. That's the only other one I have over in this.
Yeah.
But, like, if they're not good, and I could be wrong on this, you're getting all easy wins.
You're saying the Dolphins are going to go 10 and 7.
Could, yeah.
Wow. I hope you're right. I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
We're going to have a lot more Dolphins talk this offseason because I don't know that I agree with you. How did this happen that you became a bigger Dolphins
I'm just
fan?
trying to, like, bob and weave a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, on which way
The
we're going to
Bills
go
are down,
here.
the Patriots are down. I get it. Wow. I don't know.
All right, New England Patriots. I mean, it's 5.5 wins here. I went under. Easy.
We're not sure about the Drake May pick, and they're going to throw him right into the fire.
New coach, new QB. I'm out on that. When you have 2 new things and you don't know what's going on, it's hard.
Well, the coach has been there. Gerard Mayo's been there for a while. He's taking over for Bill finally.
I know, but he's like the head coach. So I think it's like
right.
now he's system. He wants to
Right.
implement different things.
Huge transition year for the Patriots. To
Yeah.
lose Belichick is crazy. But what if guys are like having fun and they're loose and they're like vibing and
Could
there's
be bad.
music in the locker room? What if everyone's just in a happier mood? Still 5.5. It's like a high bar to get to 6. I'm going to go over for one reason.
Okay.
My dad right now is building Jacoby Brissett's house in South Florida. I don't know if
Whoa.
I'm allowed to say it, but I just did. And,
Shout out
I
your
know.
dad.
And Jacoby's a rich man. This man gets 1 year, 10 mil everywhere he goes. He makes 10 mil a year. That's big money. It's a big house in South Florida. So I'm going to say Jacoby starts the year because Drake May's not ready. Jacoby steady goes 500 for a while.
Oh, wow.
And they cover the
Okay,
over. How about
interesting.
that? Yeah.
New York Jets, 9.5 over under on them.
You went over, you said?
I did go over, yeah.
I'm
Listen, if Aaron Rodgers is back to where he was and can be a quarterback that can compete, because they have a lot of talent. There's a lot of things going on
There
there.
is, but there's also a lot of question marks like Salah, Rodgers, the owner, some of
agree.
the players. Like we don't know what's really going on there.
I don't, but it feels low if you actually have some talent and you can do something. Because I thought they did, again, this is like the Giants. They kind of did okay with nothing. And Zach Wilson. By the way, hot Zach Wilson take coming up too.
Oh, what team is he on?
You don't know what team he's on?
The Broncos,
Yeah.
right? Sean Payton collects those white boys,
He loves
the
them.
short white boys. Come on over, come on over. We have a short white boy friend. Sean Payton might bring him on over.
Oh, Sam?
Wasn't naming names, but you did. All right.
What do you think?
What are we talking about? The Jets.
Over, under,
the
Jets.
I got to go under. It's in my blood. I don't like what's
Love
going on
it.
with Aaron Rodgers. This is an election year. It's going to be very tenuous in October, November. RFK in the mix for president. Aaron Rodgers, huge RFK guy. Will he be pulled into campaign events throughout the fall and missing practice? We don't know what's going to go on with this
my
election,
God.
guys. It's going to be crazy. Aaron Rodgers is in the middle of it with RFK, so I think that could derail the Jets season.
All right, we're going to AFC North.
Yeah.
Big. Our mutual friend loves this division.
Yeah. And by the way, this division is getting the in-season hard knocks, which is going to tank all of them. It tanked the Dolphins last year. People don't want cameras in their locker room during regular season games.
I like that it's a whole division because I think they realized not anybody, like no one is that fun on camera and no one wants to show you anything. So you don't get anything. You're just like voiceover. It's like, now they're in the room talking about their last game. It's like, all right, cool.
Isn't Hard Knocks a little overexposed at this point? There's off-season Hard Knocks, there's training camp Hard Knocks, and now there's a whole division. That means we have 6 teams getting Hard Knocks treatment this year.
It started with the training camp, which
Yeah.
we all liked. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, we get to see the team get ready. Then we see their practice, their like preseason games, which
Yeah.
is fun. But in season, I like it if you're like not a big football fan and you want to see like how intense the action is because they show like some of the games
Yeah.
and it's kind of shot differently. I like, but it's a lot for the teams.
It
They
is.
have no choice.
It is. Also, like in the before cell phones, before social media, you weren't getting this access with
That's true,
teams
yeah.
anymore. And now every team is doing their own social. I'm a Dolphins fan. I follow the Dolphins, and you see all these guys up close.
Yeah.
I just think it lost some luster. So we maybe reinvent Hard Knocks. I don't know what it is, but we need to reinvent it going forward.
All right, what do you got for the Baltimore Ravens? They're at 11.5 right now wins.
It's a big number. Lamar Jackson did not have a good end of the season. He was like Mr. MVP all year. They were the number 1 seed, I think, going into the playoffs, and they lost. I want to say they lost to the Texans.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think so.
Did
That's
the
right.
Texans beat them?
It's been a long time.
Maybe the Chiefs beat them. Someone beat them, and it was surprising. Lamar Jackson is not good
Oh, it might have been
in the
Chiefs.
playoffs. Lamar Jackson's not good in the playoffs. This is a regular
We're not
season
talking
game.
about- yeah,
You're right. This is a
regular
regular season
season.
game. They tend to win 11-12. It's a good number. Makes me think I'm going over. I think they get to 12.
I'm with you there. I like it. I like Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I like that it could like protect.
Glad he's over there.
Yeah, I'm glad he's there. I do like that he can protect Lamar a little bit. I think that'll help him out. He's a tall guy, so it might get in the way when he's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Because Derrick Henry's a massive
He's
dude.
a big boy.
Yeah.
He should block for him a little, too.
I don't know why that image of like Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry standing next to each other is always in my image when I see how big Derrick Henry is.
It's a random image.
Like Mark Ingram with his like half belly shirt and Derrick Henry's like towering over him like a giant. It just pops in my head
I
every
don't know
time.
how these guys try to tackle Derrick
I don't
Henry.
know
That's
either.
one of the scariest things in the world.
It's terrifying. All right, I have over. We both have
We
over.
both agree. But to be clear, they're going to lose their first playoff game after they go over.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We can talk about that
Just so
after.
we're clear, like don't bet on Super Bowl futures too. We're not that.
We
into it.
should do a show with we pick the division winners because that's a lot of money. I picked Houston last year.
That's right.
It was great.
Well, you're going to bring all your stats to that one. You're going to have all your numbers.
Yes.
You'll be ready to go for that one.
All right, Cincinnati Bengals. They're at 10.5 wins right now. Everybody seems healthy. Everybody got their deals right. I think everybody's there.
T. Higgins stuck around. Jamar Chase didn't get paid, but he's still there.
He's still there.
Yeah.
Do they redo it? Are they back? Or is this their season? Are they going to the Super Bowl? Because if not, Joe Burrow might want to think about a new team.
Last time we saw Joe Burrow, it was like limp wristed.
Yeah.
It was like not good. Not a good situation.
Which, by the way, was a injury that they should have reported when people were betting on the game because they did not.
Did he enter that game? It was Thursday night. We were at Topgolf.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Great memory.
Yeah.
And he got hurt in that
Yeah.
game. You're saying he was hurt going into that game?
They said they didn't report it, and I guess something because they saw him in a brace during practice.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully,
Familiar.
reporting's a little better this year. A lot of like
Wow.
weird, fishy stuff. But a wrist injury is tough.
Oh, it's just throwing hand. It's the most tough for a quarterback. And Joe Burrow relies on his arm strength. He's not like the most amazing runner or anything. It's all about the arm. I think he's healthy. He's young. We talk about Gen Z maybe being questionable. One thing they do is they regenerate great. They get healthy so much quicker.
Is this guy Gen
Mike,
Z?
I hurt my hamstring at softball. He's close. I hurt my hamstring at softball as a 35-year-old. I cannot get over the hump with this thing. It bothers me every Monday when I
Still?
get out there weeks
Oh,
and weeks
no.
ago. Gen Z or Joe Burrow at 25 years old, he's recovering quickly from these injuries. I think his wrist, his tendons is all good to go. The Bengals go over. I'm a Joe Burrow guy.
Really?
I'm a Jamar Chase guy. Bengals and Ravens both go over. How about that?
I'm going under here. I'm saying they're going to hit 10 wins. They're going to do. They're going to be the wild card.
Okay.
They'll go to the playoffs.
And win.
But I just don't. I think he needs a few games to get back in it, and I don't know what the full roster is looking like. Like I don't know if they're all back together. Like I thought in the offseason, Chase and Higgins, they all wanted the money and they didn't get the money, and so I just don't know what's going on. I want them.
Boyd is gone. That's one
Yeah,
guy's
Boyd-
gone.
Boyd left.
But he's insignificant.
But he was there, so I don't know who the third
Joe
receiver
Mixon's
is.
gone too. Uh-oh.
He's been there. He's been gone for a while.
No, he was there last year.
He was there last
Joe
year?
Mixon was still there. He's old. He went to Houston.
I was thinking about Gio.
Gio Bernard.
Gio.
Is he still there?
No, he's not there.
It's a classic.
He was on the Bucks for a little bit. I think
He was.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, I remember this last year. He always starts slow, but his stats, even back to LSU in college, are bad in September for whatever reason. I think he even talked about on an interview. This is like a good gambling tip. Fade the Bengals in September. Go for them. Bet on them in October and beyond because he needs a few weeks to pick up on the visualization and the vision of being a quarterback. It never works out for him in September.
All right, we'll see what happens there. I went under.
Okay.
The Browns, they're at 8.5. They paid a man a lot of money
Man.
after a lot of massage parlors. He needs it.
Yeah.
They're at 8.5 wins. Where are you going with them?
They got to the playoffs without him last year.
With Joe.
With Joe Flacco. That's right. That happened.
yeah, that
What
happened.
team is he on? Is he on the couch?
He's on another team, but
Wait,
not.
someone signed him.
Yeah, somebody signed him.
Maybe the Browns. The Browns bring him back?
He's a backup somewhere
Because
else.
if they would have brought him back, they would have had to start him over Watson, and that would be awkward.
Yeah, and Jameis is there now.
Jameis is there.
Yeah, Jameis is a good one for the Browns.
We hope he is. He's a fun
Welcome
one.
to the dog pound.
I'm not a Deshaun Watson guy, even though I've held on to him in my Dynasty Fantasy League for 6 years, waiting for him to be good again. It's been that long since he was good on the Texans. But the Browns made it to the playoffs without him. No reason they can't again. I know I'm going over for this whole division, but I'm going over.
This one hurts me to say, but I think I'm going under. I don't think I believe in Deshaun after what I saw last season. There was glimpses of greatness.
Yeah.
And I don't think that man is where he's at. I think he's just playing to get all that money, that guaranteed money.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that good. I don't think the team's that good this season. I know they got great running game. They got some wide receivers out there.
Nick Chubb, is he healthy? He had a terrible knee injury last year.
Who else is there though? The other guy,
Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, right? Isn't he there? No, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was there.
we should have looked at the rosters before we.
Why look at rosters when we can speculate?
I'm just going under on him. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like that. I don't believe in Deshaun too much. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers.
I didn't give my vote.
Oh, yeah,
did I?
what do you do?
No, I went over.
You went over? Yeah, I went over. I went under. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at 7.5.
A lot of hype. This is like the off-season poster boys, and I don't know why, because they were bringing in 2 quarterbacks instead of 1.
Yeah, they got Justin
7.5.
Fields.
That's pretty low.
A lot of reports on Justin Fields. He's having a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble out there.
Trouble physically or mentally or what?
Just throwing the ball, stuff like that,
Just the basics.
which we've seen. Russell is there. Russell might be past his prime, but he's getting another payday. They both got 1-year contracts, right?
Yeah.
I like Russell there. I think it's really good for him to just be with I feel like a coach that can just like get him into shape. Like, this is what you're doing. So I like it. I'm going over on these wins here at 7.5. I feel like it's an easy, and they always win 9. They always over 500.
Always. That's what Mike Tomlin does. He makes you think they're going to be terrible,
Yeah.
and he always does better. What a weird situation with him and Russell Wilson. He's never had a guy quite like that. Like Ben Roethlisberger wasn't on the level of Russell Wilson. I feel like Russell's another level.
Maybe young Ben running a little bit,
Maybe.
but maybe not.
And you're a preeminent Russell expert. If you think he goes there and flourishes, I tend to agree. But again, it's kind of like the Falcons and Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins. Why did they feel the need to go out and get Justin Fields once Russell Wilson was already there?
Because they're both cheap, and you both have I guess in a way you look at them, they're kind of the same quarterback, right? They can both scramble.
Yeah.
They both can throw the ball. They're both like maybe not built the same. I think Russ is a little thicker, but like I think the idea is we can build the same game plan around both QBs. Because if you bring in like Mason Rudolph after Russell Wilson, you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So now at least you got 2 guys that can kind of be the same.
When you say it like that, big upgrade. Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, or Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Like, if just look at that, got to go over.
Yeah.
I can't go over for the whole division. Big Lou, our number 1 Steelers fan, please check in on the Hangover Hotline. Tell us what you think they're going to do this year. I know you're excited about the dual quarterback situation. I went over for the other 3 teams. So I got to go under, and I got to piss off Big Lou. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's okay. All right, let's hit the AFC South. We got the Texans at 8.5.
Okay, that's I can answer very quickly.
Yeah.
Over, way over. C.J. Stroud, Stephon Diggs. Stroud is him. The Texans might be the 1 seed.
Nico Collins.
What an exciting offense. Joe Mixon?
I'm going over too. It feels very public betting to go over on this one. I like it. I'm excited about it. We'll see what happens. It's like, and I like this division. I feel like everybody's like pretty equal now. Like before I felt they're all trash.
Yeah.
Now they're all kind of like.
They're all like all mediocre.
Yeah, they're all like rising to the middle of the road. Yeah.
They are. And there's some good quarterbacks in this division. That feels like, you know how sometimes in the NFL season you see a bad line and you can't quite figure it out? This almost feels like a bad over-under. It's so low.
Well,
are we missing something here?
Well, what you're missing is the whole division is 8.5 minus the Tennessee's. So I think
So they're all the same. We don't know.
they're all the same. That's what they're saying to you.
So it's not division in that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, minus the Tennessee Titans, I feel like they were the biggest ones to downgrade. I feel like everybody else like at least upgraded a tad, even though like what's his name? Not Calvin Ridley. He's not an upgrade.
No.
What's
Tony
his name?
Pollard?
No, Gabe Davis is not like a big upgrade for Jacksonville.
He's not. They did sign. Let's go to the Jags. They
Yeah.
signed Trevor Lawrence. They gave him so much money. We
So
think
much.
he's going to be good, but he hasn't been good yet. And it's like
No.
that's what you're talking about with the quarterback situation in the NFL. You got to pay these guys so much just to lock them up.
And also, remember last season where he like didn't want to play but could have played? That really irritated me a lot.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we don't know if he's going to play. It's like he doesn't want to play.
Yeah.
And they were like going into the playoffs. He needed to win these games. I don't like that. And then they give him a big contract. I feel like they got no other options. It's just like, we got Trevor Lawrence. We drafted him high. He's going to be our QB.
I think he still will be good. He
Yeah.
just hasn't been real good yet.
But I think he's good. But I think it's also like, how many Jacksonville Jaguar games do you actually watch?
They've been more exciting lately. I mean, we only watch Red Zone. We've established that.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
Scott Hansen people only.
But sometimes those afternoon games where they're playing like 2 games, you get stuck on bad teams. And sometimes
Yeah.
you see it. But like the morning, if there's 12 games going on, it's really hard to like just stay focused on whatever you want to watch.
I
But
know.
yeah,
And sometimes they get bored by the standalone games because there's not 12 other games going on.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Play better.
All
Play
right,
better
so
football.
we're going under on Jags, right? 8.5.
I want to go over on the Jags.
Okay.
I think they're a playoff team.
You're a big over guy. I want everybody to count how many overs you got. You got a lot of overs.
Okay.
I'm going under. Let's do the Colts.
Okay.
Colts are at 8.5 as well.
Yeah.
I'm going under just because I can't name a player other than Anthony Richardson.
I thought you like Anthony Richardson.
I do.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what else is going on there. He got hurt. He wasn't there all season. And now what? Now we're back, and it's like he's supposed to be. And I like him. He's a big guy. He can run. He's almost had a rap career.
Yeah.
I really like him a lot. But I worry about the team.
Mike, I think he put on a ton of weight in the offseason. He's like the opposite of you. You've lost a lot of weight this offseason. He's put on a lot. I think he's weighing like 30, 40 pounds more than he did before.
That man
They're calling him Thick Richardson.
Thick Rich.
They are. I didn't make that up. You can't believe it, but they are.
Because that man was big already.
I know.
Not fat, but like jacked.
Yeah, but like you don't see a lot of jack quarterbacks. That's my hesitation, my caution.
Patrick
is it doesn't
Mahomes,
always
not
help
jacked.
you. Definitely dad bod. That man is eating ice cream every night.
Yeah, well, me too.
Kind of looks like it. Well, you guys are dads.
All right, so are you going over?
I can't. You called me out. I got to go under. I got to do some under.
Okay,
I got to go under here for sure. But I was going to go under anyway. I'm not a Richardson fan. I think he's a runner, not a passer. The NFL is a passing league. They'll be under 5.
I'm going to take it back because I went immediately under. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go over, but I wish I could exactly tell you how many wins they're going to get. They're going to get 9 wins.
That's like an exacta. Can you do that? Can
I
you
wish.
bet on the exact number?
They're going to get 9 wins.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like that man, when I saw him out there for the, I think, first 2 games, he was going to win the game no matter what. And that's why he got injured.
He took over fantasy, took over the NFL.
He will run, and he will go win you a game.
But he will also get hurt doing that, right?
He will, but not if that man is a fucking 270, 6'5".
Thick Richardson doesn't get hurt.
Thick Rich. I like that a lot. What a name.
That just happened.
Did we forget anybody in that division?
I went under. There is one
Titans.
team, the Titans. We're both going under, right?
Under, yeah. We can move on.
They're like the Panthers.
We gotta get the
They're the
dinner.
Panthers of the AFC. We have dinner.
We have dinner. All right. AFC West. The Denver Broncos brought in a slew of terrible backup quarterbacks.
Can you name them all?
No, I know Zach Wilson is one of them.
Yeah.
But I always thought, now, as my Sportsradamus prediction, I did say Zach Wilson will thrive somewhere else.
And that really bothered me. I never forgot that since our show. In
Zach
January.
Wilson is going to be thriving here in Detroit, in Denver.
When he gets traded to Detroit.
They're at 5.5 wins. I went way over on this.
Way over.
Because
of Zach Wilson specifically.
I think Zach was in a terrible position out there. He was banging all the players' moms. He was like...
He was?
I think he did a few of them. I don't think the Jets organization was right for him, and they never wanted him. He didn't even want to play. He's like, you got Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going out there and playing football.
Which shows me he has no dog in him. Maybe he's banging all the moms, but he has no dog in him if he doesn't want to play.
He's like, fuck you. I'm not going to get hurt. Like, you've sent out 5 other guys. They all got hurt. Now you want me?
Well, they like jerked him around. They put him in. They took him out. They put him in. They put him out.
Well, they also said like he's going to be a starter, and then they trade for Aaron
But he
Rodgers.
looked completely incompetent. We can agree with the Jets. He looked incompetent.
It could also be the coach.
Okay, we're blaming the coach for his incompetence.
I'm saying 5.5 is way too low for a team that underperformed last year because of Russell. And I think Zach Wilson will listen. I don't think Russ wanted to listen. And also, they didn't like each other. Sean Payton did not like Russ.
Definitely didn't. He was telling him to sit down in the middle of the season, and Russ was like, no, I'm not. And we're going to make this public. And it got very dirty. And they traded him for almost nothing. And they're paying this contract. So they did draft Bo Nix. So add him to the short white quarterback.
Oh, yeah, Bo Nix.
They
They got one other guy.
DiNucci?
No, they didn't. Wait.
Is that where? I think that's where he went.
Tom DeVito?
DiNucci might be there. DeVito might also be there. They have like 4 to 5 short white quarterbacks. All seem like they can't get it
6
done.
foot.
Yeah, that's like Sean Payton's type. There's a joke about he's got a thing, and it's short white guys. With the Drew Brees success, he proved it. It worked for a while, but Drew Brees was probably a one-off. We don't see many guys that look like Drew Brees doing passing records like that. The Broncos are down bad. Bo Nix is going to come in. He's going to be accurate, but he's not going to push the ball down the field. He's not going to convert.
He's not going to start. There's no way he's starting.
I think he's better than Zach Wilson from day one.
Are we going to? Do we have to
Is
live
Jared
bet right
Stidham
here?
still there too? Do they have him?
No, they should have got rid of Stidham.
He might still be there.
No.
I'm telling you, they have a lot of mediocre guys.
They have a lot of guys.
A lot of them. None of them are any good. I'm going under 5.5. They're going to be so bad. They're going to tank this year. They're paying Russell Wilson like $40 million this year. They can't spend it anywhere. So I think they're going to tank, be terrible, and then come out and draft another quarterback next year, 2 years in a row.
All right, we'll see what happens. All right, the Kansas City Chiefs are at 11.5 here. What are you putting?
Sometimes they win 11, sometimes they win 12. At some point, Travis Kelce will get worse. It hasn't really happened yet. He had a great playoff run.
I think this man is going to have his best year yet.
Really?
He's hanging out with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
He's just loving life. I'm sure now he's got hookups for drugs that we don't even know about that can help heal you.
Don't you think he's spending more time with Taylor Swift and less time thinking about football?
Well, no. This is your off season. What are you supposed to be thinking about football all the time? Sometimes it's nice for a break.
That's what the best do.
You need a break, and he got a break. I think this season is. I don't know why we don't bet it every year, but Kansas City has won the division almost every year.
Yeah.
I'm betting them to win the division. So if it only takes 11 wins, you could go under on this, but I'm going to go over.
Jim Harbaugh exists, and he might have the feisty Chargers in that mix in the division. We'll get to them in a second. I'm going under on the Chiefs just because.
So you think they're going to win 10 games?
Yeah, maybe less. And they'll make the playoffs. They'll win the division most likely.
Okay.
They might win the Super Bowl again. But this show is called the Sports Hangover. It's all about crazy stuff happens, and then you have a little hangover to recover from it. The Chiefs keep winning. At some point, they can't keep repeating. They make it look too easy. There's 31 other teams in the NFL coming for their ass. And I think the Chiefs might go down a little bit for the first time this year. You can't name me a lot of players on that team. It's Mahomes, it's Kelsey, and it's Hollywood Brown. Is she race? Is he still there?
No, he's not. The Las Vegas Raiders, mess of a franchise, mess of a team. I'm going under 6.5. I don't like that they kept the interim coach around. I don't know if he's like
Antonio Pierce. They kept him.
I thought they kept him, didn't they?
I think they did.
I don't like it as much. I mean, I think it was good for the team. It seems like they really rallied around him.
Yeah.
I don't know coming into a fresh season how it's going to go. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's going to be a great coach. I don't know who the quarterback is right now.
Gardner Minshew, pretty great.
Gardner is good.
He's pretty great, right?
It's really hard. So many people moved.
Should have been in my game.
I
like Gardner Minshew.
I like him, but I just don't think the Raiders are there yet. They live in Vegas. It's hard to you don't think Gardner's going to go party in Vegas?
We have to go to a game. We have not been to a Raiders game yet. We love Vegas in small increments. We got to go to a game this year.
I'm going with mutual friend for less than 12 hours to enter the Super Contest and the Pick'em Contest.
That's before the season starts, which you have to go at that time. But there's no Raiders game.
There is no Raiders game. So maybe we'll do like a Halloween game or something.
You're going to Vegas for less than 12 hours? Is that a private jet lands and takes you back?
I think we're going to leave at like 4 p.m. Maybe it'll be like 15 hours. We're going to try to do like a 3 o'clock flight out and then leave around 7 a.m. the next morning.
And no sleep, no hotel.
We're getting a hotel for free from Circa when we enter the contest.
There you go, but no sleep on that schedule. That's party all night.
We'll see what happens. Our lawyer friend might come out. He said he wanted to see some kind of concert from some band or some DJ.
I thought he was just there.
He said he didn't go. I talked to him the other day.
Is this on the podcast?
I talked to him the other day. He didn't go.
Lawyer friend, I thought you were going to Vegas. You didn't go.
He said he's going to come and stay out there and go with us and enter the contest.
Now I actually want to go.
Mid-August. You should come.
I won't be here.
No, you can come out.
Busy. What's the over-under on the Raiders?
6.5.
Gardner Minshew takes us over.
I'm going under.
Yes.
The Los Angeles Chargers at 8.5 wins, over/under. Where are you going?
I think Harbaugh and Herbert is fascinating. Mm-hmm. Harbaugh wants to run the ball, beefed up the O-line, got rid of the receivers. They might be the ones that drafted Lad McClunkey now that I think about it. They only have one receiver. Under for now, I think Harbaugh will build a juggernaut over time, but not in year one. He didn't win at Michigan in year one. It took a few years to get there.
Yeah.
I think let him build under this year, over in the future.
I agree. I'm going to go under here. New coach. Might change his system on Herbert. We don't know how he's going to evolve to that. They lost Keenan Allen. I don't know what wide receivers they have there. Didn't they get somebody? Or no?
They drafted someone.
They did. They definitely did.
They did.
Didn't they draft like the 4th or 5th pick?
I thought they took an offensive lineman in that pick.
They did, yeah. So it could help. Yeah, it was. We thought they were going to trade Herbert and get JJ.
JJ, because Harbaugh coached JJ. It would have been the perfect thing. They didn't listen to us for some reason.
Didn't happen.
I don't know why.
All right, that's it for over-unders.
Wait, did you go under? We both went under on the Chargers.
Yeah, under. Yeah, under.
Okay.
That's it for the show. We'll be back. Maybe have some pre-recorded shows. Maybe because
the couch is our new spot. Maybe I'll just come over every week and sit on the couch with you.
This will be great. This will be good. I like. Look at this setup.
Full coverage.
Full coverage.
If you're not already watching, by the way, if you're only listening, they should probably jump over to YouTube or TikTok or both.
Yeah. Well, if you want the full show, you're going to go on YouTube, youtube.com/Sports Hangover. You can watch it, subscribe. You get our angle. We have 3 cameras rolling right now.
It's a big production. The busiest production in Hollywood right now is this one.
Right here. Check out sportshangover.com. And we'll be back sometime next week. See you.